How's it going to everyone today, basketball fans? I'm Stevie Coles again, and I'm back with another episode of the Grind Never Stops podcast. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the NBA Central Division preview. The first team to talk about in this division is the Chicago Bulls. So they are 31 and 41 last season. They're a team that could score points last season. They're great at doing that, but the problem is at the defensive end. You should watch Bulls fans Alex Caruso from the Los Angeles Lakers. That's his last team. This is what I like about Alex Caruso. He's low key, but high reward. He can shoot threes, and most importantly, he's a great defender, but a sleeper type of player as a guard. Alex Caruso, what I do know about this guy, he could be their leader. Most importantly, he can help you with defense because the Bulls defense is bad from last season. And most importantly, he's a championship winner. Very important for this year Bulls fans. You'll like him, trust me. And then you have Vucevic. He's your center big man. He's great at rebounding the ball. He averaged 11.7 rebounds per game. But Vucevic, what I do know about him is that he can post you up inside, he can do a hook shot, and yes, he's great at rebounding the ball. And yes, he's actually a good free throw shooter. And then you have guard Demar Derozan. During the offseason, the Bulls picked him up. I'm not so sure about this move from the Chicago Bulls because he's not a good three-point shooter, but mid-range, he's basically knocks him down 95% of the time. And he's great from the free throw stripe. He's basically money. Just give him the two or 3 points, depending on the situation. Regardless, it doesn't matter. But the Bulls, they have to prove to me they can play some defense. The next thing we'll talk about is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are 22 and 50 last season. You know, ever since LeBron James left the Cavaliers, back to square one. They struggled ever since. Their defense, however, is 17th in the league in points allowed. That's not bad. Their offense is really anemic. Yee. It's very simple. They're basically starting over. They're back to square one. They're basically rebuilding for the future right now. I wonder if Cavaliers fans could be patient this year because it's going to take a while to win another title. The next thing we'll talk about is the Detroit Pistons. So they are 20 and 52 last season. Another rebuilding team. They're just made to look for the future. Then you have the Oklahoma State Cowboys product, Cade Cunningham. He's basically a go-to guy in the future. He has everything, regardless. He's like, think Sean Livingston. Read the scouting report from Google. But the difference is, he's a great three-point shooter. And yes, he can play defense, even off ball. And he's a very smart defender too. he can actually play in all 5 positions. If you like small ball, you'll like Cade Cunningham because he's 6'8", and yes, he can even play center too. Small ball, everybody, and yes, he can attack the basket too. He's actually fast too. This is very simple. Who will help out Cade Cunningham? Next thing we'll talk about is the Indiana Pacers. They are 34 and 38 last season. The Pacers' problem is at the defensive end. In comes Rick Carlito, a defensive-minded head coach that makes you run a half-court offense. When he coaches you, he wants a tall front line, and yes, he prefers 7-footers, power forwards, and center. Size everywhere, even the backcourt. He's going to make you rebound the ball, and yes, you better play some defense or you're cut, in Rick Carlisle's terms. So, they have 2 guys for Rick Carlisle that can play tall, Sabonis and Miles Turner. So let's start with Sabonis. He has a problem. His defensive awareness is bad, but on the boards, he's great to outstanding. And yes, he can shoot free throws. And he has some pop on his jump shot. And then you have Miles Turner. Yes, he can shoot threes. Most of the time, he shoots threes. He can block shots, but here is the problem. Will he do well on the glass? It's very simple. Can the Pacers improve on defense under Rick Carlisle? Next thing we'll talk about is last season's world champions, the Milwaukee Bucks. So they are 46 and 26 and won the NBA title against the Phoenix Suns. They won the title last season because 1. Size, and most importantly, they won the battle on the boards against the Phoenix Suns. And yes, even Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, it's hard to pronounce his name by the way, he did well on the boards. The Bucks show you that you don't need just superstars just to win titles. You just need the right pieces to fit the system. Remember, folks, work as a team. It's important. Chemistry, also another thing. It's very important. Teamwork wins you ball games and titles too. Just ask the Bucks. But the problem with Greek Freak is that he is bad at the free throw line and he takes too much time shooting the free throw. No wonder why fans say 1, 2, 10, 15. You're thinking too much, Greek Freak. Just knock it down. It's just a game. Calm down. So during the offseason, they basically lost half of their championship roster from last year. But they covered nicely coming into this year's NBA season. But don't doubt the Bucks though this season because they're still a threat to win another title. Never doubt the Bucks. They'll make you pay. And for your division winner, I'm gonna go with the Milwaukee Bucks because the teams behind the Bucks from the Central Division, basically a runaway division. In other words, cupcake division. Who can challenge them? I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna pick the Bucks to win the division. Second, I'm gonna go with the Pacers. Three are going to go to the Bulls, then the Cavaliers, then the Pistons. And this is your NBA Central Division preview. Thanks for tuning in, basketball fans. I'm your co-host Steve again from Grind Never Stops Podcast. Sign out, everybody, and I'm out.